If you were watching this now, you know what is happening in the world of news and influence. The Shawn Ryan drop of Candace, by the way, one of the best buildups ever. Absolutely, positively wonderful. He's got a great, great team. But what you are seeing right now is something so, as we say in the kitchen, huge. Huge. And most people, a lot of people that I know in conventional standard media have no earthly idea. It's like not knowing about the Beatles, when the Beatles came about, or not aware of this thing called rock and roll, or being the guy who booked for Tony Bennett in the 60s who said, no, we're going to be around forever. Or from Boogie Nights, who didn't realize that adult films would go to porn, would go to from film to video, and then now online. It's like you don't see this. You don't see what's happening. You don't understand it, or you are so wedded to a particular way of thinking that maybe you don't want to give in. Maybe you don't. Maybe it hurts you. Even the people, which we'll talk about, the jadruls, or the self-styled, these idiots, understand 100%. Say what you want about Mikey or this or Neffy or whoever the hell these people are. Believe me, they know. They know. So give them credit for that. They know what this is. I was watching today this interview. I forget what there's the chess guy and one of these comedy fellows. Very, very good. They had maybe between them 15 million subscribers. 15 million. If they hit 300K on a video, it's considered a disaster. We're looking at something, and I'm walking around here. I got to tell you something. Just in my business, from my world, the people that when I started in radio, I'm saying, listen, come on, come with me. Let's go. You can still do radio, but it's over here. It's called spoken word. Say whatever you want. Come on, it's over here. It's on YouTube or this. Yeah. No, you don't understand. I mean, it's always going to be radio, but come on, expand. No. Well, because I listen in my car. It's like, we're not asking you what you think. There are these people, these self-styled people. You're not going to believe this. This is the era to show you how brilliant this is. There are people who I know in the world of media, they're self-styled experts. They will say, I'm in charge of this. I put out a newsletter about what's new in model trains. Who are you? I can be anybody I want. I'm an expert. Wikipedia. Who are you? I'm anybody I want. Snopes. Who the hell are Snopes? Remember that story? The guy with his cat and anybody you want. PolitiFact. We live in a world right now where fact is evanescent. Fact is malleable, protean, not estimable, not verifiable. Everything is exploding. And today is one of the biggest stories. And I'm telling you, and it's one of the best produced rollouts anybody has ever seen. I'm telling you. And I don't give a damn whether you like Candace or you even the ones who don't say anything, who say she's a grifter, but they never say why. Even they know how big the story is. So buckle up, my friends. And let me also tell you something. The Middle East, Strait of Hormuz, it is a disaster. And when the shit hits the fan, you're going to need this product called a bug out bag. Think I'm kidding? Think I'm exaggerating? We'll see. Just do what I say. Get it. When disaster hits, you don't rise to the occasion. You fall back on what you already prepared. Wildfires, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, blackouts, EMP and grid attacks, riots, disaster. Get it? And when the warning comes, there's no time to search for flashlights or bottled water or first aid supplies while your family waits at the door. That's why My Patriot Supply created the fully stocked bug out bag. You've got to get this. It's a rugged, grab and go tactical backpack packed with 60 emergency essentials, including food, water, shelter, fire, starting tools, lighting, first aid, and more. Everything is already packed and ready right out of the box. Keep one in your car, your home, your RV, your office, your cabin, because the emergencies never make appointments. And right now, you can get $100 off plus free shipping for a limited time. So act now. There will be no special invitation in life. Disaster always comes unannounced. Get prepared now. Go to preparewithlionel.com. That's preparewithlionel.com and click the link today. My friend, where do I even begin? One of the most brilliant comments, Candace is this generation's Dorothy Kilgallen. Absolutely spot on. Brilliant. 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 Let me explain my position on this first and foremost. I love when something has so much heft to it. I don't want to go in too much into details, but one of the things you have to do that this medium has that nobody else does, radio doesn't, TV doesn't, cable doesn't, they stand alone. They consider themselves nice to invite you in. They'll tell you, listen today, be caller number 4. They don't really work with you. This medium that we are in, we welcome you. Come in. It's a church. Have a seat. Here's the benediction. We will let you know. Here's the missal coming up Tuesday. We'll meet you there. Join us. We are nothing without you. Every other medium, every other, call it historic, sock puppet medium, whatever it is, radio, TV, cable, they act like they're doing you a favor. And they speak around you. They don't even know you're there. They don't even know you're there. One of the things that YouTube does in particular, and I can't really speak for Rumble, and I really don't know. God bless them, but I can tell you about this. They're always saying this. Please like this video. Please subscribe. Thank you. Join us. Be our friend. Be this. Join our club. It's engaging. You always feel like they need me. I mean it. They need me. They need me. And it's true. It is absolutely true. There's something about this which is so critical. Isn't this beautiful? Look at this. Look at this. Matt Bell just gave out 10 Lionel Nation memberships. You see that? You see this? It's like join one, join all. Thank you, Matt Bell. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. Do you see what I'm doing? Do you see what's happening here? In this medium, we're always acknowledging you. And we never take you for granted because we don't exist without you. Radio, TV, cable, they couldn't care less. They couldn't care less. They never ask you anything. They never said, please. No, it's like they're doing you a favor. This is something which is completely different. And like I said, even the people, and I got to tell you something. I went through this morning. I don't want to mention their names, but there's a whole bunch of people who, you know what? They get it. And I may think that they're intellectual nitwits. I may think they're stupices. I may think they're dimwits, iconas, dullards, dim bulbs, Boeotians, brain dead, retardates, simian, you name it. But there's one thing I will tell them. If I ever met them, I would say, you know what? Good for you. You're in the fight. And you put up a fight. And you may be completely full of shit. You may not know what you're talking about, but you're in the fight. There's a guy on YouTube all of a sudden, he says, I'm a debater. I'm a debater. I'm a master debater. We've been through this joke. Who are you? I'm just going to say I'm a debater. Okay, very good. But you know what? He's in the fight. Look at little Neffy there and Colvett and all these other Strunzes, Tadpole, Hardpole, Tadpole. I don't even know those people. The Turek, Tourette's, whatever this dude is. They're so ancillary, but they can't wait to get it, and they involve themselves, and they go on shows, and I gotta hand it to them. They're completely devoid of any kind of mentation. They're completely devoid of any facts. Completely. But by God, they did a show. I was watching, our good friend Tucker was on with somebody, and this guy says, well, why do you think Epstein killed himself? I said, what? Where have you been? What are you talking about? See, that's the beauty of this. This is the great equalizer. You can be completely devoid of any kind of mentation whatsoever, any kind of fact, and you've got a place here. It takes a lot of guts to make a damn fool out of yourself, and I appreciate that. So today, one of these things is Candace is going on vacation. She's not a master. Is she the mistress? I don't know what it is, but she knows exactly what's going on. I'm going to go on vacation. All right, guys. Hey, she's back. She's fantastic. But you never feel, she never acts haughty. These other people, do you ever watch somebody, do you ever watch anybody on CNN and feel like, boy, that's a guy I want to get to know? No, they think they're better than you. But she always says, listen, I was going to go on vacation or holiday, as we say. But I got to tell you something. We're going to drop this thing. And I was talking to Barron, and she talks to you like she's talking to you. See, that's one of the things which you always, I never forget when I first started radio, first, there was this guy, just a genius. And he was such an innovator, still is, but his name is Randy Michaels. And anybody who knows him, he's a wild man too, crazy, but a genius. And somebody says, all right, you people, all right, you, all right, all of you. And it sounded like, what am I, just a voice in a crowd in a stadium? And they always said, make the person feel like you're talking to them. If you're on this, if you're on I-95, if you're here, if you're there, if you're driving, if you're in Toledo right now, if you're a single mom, if you, it feels like, okay, great. I feel like a part of this. And there's one thing that Candace does is she always says, all right, guys, that's a trademark. But it's like us. It's like, it's a group. It's just like we felt. Remember Romper Room? Remember the, you might have had something. It's like, not that this is Romper Room, but I feel like I'm a part of the club. This is a group. This is the teacher, but I'm telling you, this intimacy, this connectivity. So Shawn Ryan comes along, and he, all of a sudden, by the way, one thing about Shawn, he created the genre of this military thing. He did it. Initially, Gene Borello, John Alite, Sammy the Bull, I think Michael Franzese were the original, and they might still be. Franzese just took off because he's a businessman. But that was the mob thing, the mobsters, it's like shoot TV for wrestlers became that from mob. These guys took an oath to the death of a secret society, and they're all yapping away anyway. But Shawn Ryan did this. Have you ever seen Sean Hannity's take off of this? He's in a rumpus room. It's like with plywood and a dartboard and a pool table, and they're drinking scotch and smoking a cigar. It's lighted like an operating room. What are you talking about? This is a difference. So he did it. So what we're seeing all these people. Now, how the hell did Shawn Ryan, who talks about Delta Force and SEAL Team 6, why is he talking to Candace? Who cares? Who cares? it just works. And all of a sudden, so today when you said it broke, great person I watched this morning. I watched First Things First. I think she's great, Kasia from Daily Fredo. Kasia, she's Polish. Her English is impeccable. I like sometimes she'll pretend like she's not pronouncing something right. Come on. I know what you're doing. She speaks better English. She's not even than Tater Tatum. I don't even know what the hell that guy's talking about. He's born in this country. He was a cop. I don't know what he's saying. This guy has taken, ungrammatical illiteracy and made it an art form. No, I'm sorry. I know you're not supposed to play it, but this guy's a rube. But anyway, so she does this thing, and it's fantastic. And she starts off, so she's like the first one, because I think she's in Cyprus. So she consequently, she puts the first thing on. And I thought, oh, it's just great. So I start off with that. It's my morning schedule, you know what I mean? And she's so polite, and she does this, and she has an absolute interest. It's fantastic. And there's this interconnectivity of sorts, these people who like certain people. It's great. And I'm telling you, and I walk in, and if I walked into somebody, if I walked into I don't know, like a cable TV, or they used to have the what's that thing called, NAB or whatever, they have the NAB and these National Association of Broadcasters, these NAB conventions. One time I made a mistake. I was trying to say NAB and I came up with NAMBLA. Don't ask me why, because I'm North American Man Boy Love Association. I'm thinking, I don't know where, maybe that was a Freudian slip. But what I'm saying is I always love people who said, you don't understand what's happening. See, all my life, I've been telling people, I know what I'm talking about. Professional wrestling. I one time had to talk about a jadrul. I had a program director say, what are you talking about wrestling for? This is in New York. WABC. New York wrestling. WWF before Vince. Are you kidding? Bruno Sammartino, Arnold Skolin. Are you nuts? He didn't understand anything. I remember one time there was a very famous, I'm not going to mention his name, but you know him because it is so stupid what he said. Dale Earnhardt, when he died, half of America froze. And this one guy said, I'm not going to talk about that. Who cares? When Sinatra died in New York, same guy. I don't want to talk about that. I don't care whether you like Sinatra or not. You see what I'm saying? One of the things that we do is we know where it's going. We're not asking any questions. Just tell me what's important, tell me what's not. Yesterday, Mrs. L, she's walking home from in the middle of the hot, whatever, she goes by, what was it, the garden? And they're getting ready for the Taylor Swift thing. Huh? Taylor Swift's wedding. By the way, this guy, Kels, they call him Kelsey, but I think it's pronounced Kels. His prenup, maybe. So anyway, I'm trying to explain to somebody. I said, Taylor Swift, I don't care about Taylor Swift. But it's like, damn it, it's not about whether you like Taylor Swift. Do you understand something that is happening? Do you not understand what it's like to be participatory in a society that pays reference to something and reverence? It's that simple. I don't know how to say it anymore. I don't know how to. This is the biggest story. I'm thinking, you idiots, and the best, the people, and my favorite, my radio fans and my media fans. They acted like podcasting was like it was CB radio, or that it was like listening to a baby monitor or something. I mean, it's just I thought, do you understand? This is it. And when Joe Rogan came along, they still didn't get it. It's like they couldn't believe that this was happening. They couldn't believe this. They could not understand. I'm saying, this is real. This is happening now. Joe Rogan changed just changed everything. Joe Rogan. And you're going to ask, well, who the hell is Joe Rogan? What do you mean? I got one guy who said, I'm an expert in debating. I got another one. Have you seen all these phony preachers? These phony preachers. I'm more of a preacher. I know more about the Bible than they do. Or at least what the Bible supposedly purports to contend, as it were. But it doesn't matter. It's a thing. Did you ever listen to, read up on Father Coughlin? Some people say Coughlin. I've heard Coughlin. This guy was the biggest thing. Forget Rush Limbaugh. Forget Bob Grant or Joe Pine or Rush Limbaugh, or I just said that, or Howard Stern or Paul Harvey. Father Coughlin was the biggest thing anybody hit. The letters, the telegrams. He was enormous. And a lot of people couldn't copy them. So what I love is I love the psychology of information. I love epistemology. I love the study of how we know what we know. I love the basis and bases of knowledge. When are things acceptable? When are things not? And the most fascinating thing that ever happened to me was professional wrestling. That changed my life. And that probably was really my red pill before anything else. But I'm changing the subject just a little bit. Everything that is happening right now regarding what the benefits and the elevation of Iran, we gave it to them by attacking them because we followed the instructions of someone who did not necessarily share our interests. And this president got involved in a stupid war that everybody's been saying since Vietnam, we don't learn any lessons. And now they're going to be a nuclear power. They're going to be a regional hegemon, and they're going to make more money, and they're going to get the bomb. They're going to get it. I'm telling you, get ready. It's happening. I don't know if it's next year. And then they're going to hear this. We're going to hear about it. They just tested it. Congratulations. The JCPOA, whatever, under Barack Obama, that would have happened. We gave it to them. We killed their leader. It's beautiful. Where are you going to hear this? I don't know, but you're not going to hear it on conventional cable news, and you're not going to hear it on regular conventional media because that goes against the grain. Where would you hear it? Here. Okay? Here. And another thing we're doing right now, I don't care whether you like me. I want you to. I don't care whether you think you know my politics. Believe me, you don't. Believe me, you don't. Because the politics, it's protean. It transmogrifies. It changes. It's not, how do I say this? It's not hardwired. But there was a young man assassinated on September the 10th of last year. And those of us who have been reluctantly involved in the world of such have understood that time after time, they will put forth a patsy. Lee Harvey Oswald, James Earl Ray, Sirhan. Shall I go on? You want to go on? The false flag, the patsy, the guy who takes it, the usual. And if we went back, even, Emma Goldman, what's his name? Obviously, the fellow who knocked off McKinley. In any event, we don't learn. So this kid, Tyler Robinson, came about. And right now we say simply this. And by the way, there's this other guy, I don't know what his name is, but I'm saying if we went to court right now, based upon the evidence that we have, he's going to be found not guilty. So he wrote today on X, he said, yeah, but I can't wait to see your face, when they do convict him on the evidence you don't know about. I said, well, where is are they going to come up with this in the meantime? They can't link any weapon to him. Hello? You're saying you think they have it somewhere? They don't even know what they're saying. They just say things. But that's okay. At least they're in the fight. They just say things. Yeah, but how are they going to link this? Tell me now. If you're going to arrest somebody, it's like, you've got the information. I've got something. I mean, I may not have, I may not have everything, all of my I's dotted and T's crossed. But if I got some guy standing over some old lady with a knife, blood dripping, and she's dead, take the picture. I think we got him. We'll worry about the blood type later. And this one doesn't even have that. It's like they went to the schmuck prosecutor and said, here's your guy. What? Here he is. Here's who? Tyler Robinson. Who's that? That's the guy. File it. Yeah, don't worry. Oh, yeah, they're going to Epstein his ass. Well, that didn't happen. How do we know that? How do we suspect this? Yeah, I never say no. See, sometimes my only problem, not with anybody in particular, but I know it's like, I can tell, that's not it. If you tell me that a patient with stage 3, whatever, esophageal cancer, all of a sudden went into remission, I would say, okay, that's a fact. And you said it was because they upped their cardio or they went to a paleo diet. I would say, no, that's not the reason. Well, what was the reason? I don't know what the reason was, but the reason that you advance, that's not it. You see what I'm saying? I don't know who was responsible for actually killing Charlie. I'll give you a list of suspects. I'll give you a couple of scenarios that make sense if you're interested in that. But we don't know now. We might know it later, we might not. But right now, we don't know. And you can guess all you want. And guessing a scenario does not mean that's the person who did it. That's just a help. It just gets you there. Could it be the government of Israel? Could it be somebody within TPUSA? Could it be Erica? It could be theoretically, but I just can't. That doesn't make sense to me. No. You know how you just know certain things? But it was definitely not Tyler Robinson. Why? Because this is a lint brush. This lint brush has not in any way been linked whatsoever to the murder of Charlie Kirk. Had this been found at the scene, it would likewise not be linked to Charlie Kirk. I'm not trying to laugh at this. You found a rifle, theoretically, at the scene that drug detection dogs couldn't figure out, even though they can smell a fish fart. All of a sudden, these drug detection dogs couldn't find it. Where is it? Over here. No, they didn't. No, we're smelling. We're going for gunfire. No, this gun was fired. No, it wasn't. Okay. This is as connected, listen to what I'm saying, to the murder as that rifle, that Mauser M98. It doesn't matter. Well, there's DNA on here. There's some DNA on this too. What the hell does this have to do with it? It's his gun. What do they mean it's his DNA? It's his gun. They didn't fire it. I don't understand it. It's just, what are we, stupid? Now, this is not because I'm a conspiracy theorist. It's not because I don't give a damn about Tyler Robinson. Who cares about Tyler Robinson? Who cares about Tyler Robinson? I don't care about Tyler Robinson. I don't care who he is. It doesn't make any sense. But we're arguing this thing. So here comes Candace. Candace comes along for whatever reason. She says, guess what? This didn't happen that way. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. And we're still using this stupid term incorrectly. I don't understand it. We're still using this term incorrectly. I don't know. I don't, So we're here right now. But the best line is that she is talking about things that really don't make any sense. And when you get somebody and you say, now, wait a minute, Hang on a minute. Let's think about that gun. Hey, now remember, we don't have Tyler. We don't have, he's not here. Tyler is not here. He's in prison. But if Tyler sat down, and let me just play you this. What if he sat down and I think if I didn't hear correctly. Now, by the way, the official story, Shawn's I think he's behind a paywall now. And I like what Cassia said, what Fredo said. He goes, you know what? I don't want to, that's his paywall. I don't want to, link this stuff. You know what? I dig that. Some people are pretty, that's right. I say that. I did that the other day. I was talking to somebody. I don't know why. I just did it because I'm so used to talking to you. And all of a sudden, it's a guy at CVS. Excuse me. Can you? Oh, I'm sorry about the part. But she's very right. She goes, wait till tomorrow. Wait till it drops. You know what? And I respect it and that sort of thing. But I think he asked Candace, or Candace said, do you think he was there? I don't even think he was there. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. None of that makes. I don't care about anything but that trial. You show me what's going to happen in that trial. Show me what's going to happen at the trial. Forget that. Forget the mics exploding. Forget any of this stuff. Let's go to trial. Give me your witness list. Thank you very much. Give me your evidence. Okay. This is it, huh? Yeah. You sure about this? Right? Okay. Because you can't use any evidence you didn't disclose. That's a discovery violation. But there's also something called, if you do not turn over, let's say they've got information that exculpates the case. They have information which tends to exonerate. This is the most important thing in the world. They have this. The most important thing for you to know is the case of Brady against Maryland, U.S. Supreme Court case. This is turning over exculpatory information. This is the biggest thing. If you don't turn over what is called Brady material, Brady, you're dead. 1963 case, the Supreme Court said that prosecutors have a constitutional duty to disclose to the defense any evidence favorable to the accused that is material to guilt or punishment. This includes evidence that tends to show innocence or reduce culpability, impeach a government witness, or mitigate punishment. That means if there's a government witness and you don't know he's an escapee from prison, he's a serial killer, and you don't know that, the government has to tell you, oh, by the way, yeah, our main witness, yeah, he's an escapee, he's a serial killer. Just want to let you know. Suppressing this evidence violates the defendant's right to due process under the 14th Amendment, regardless of whether the suppression was intentional or accidental. And the case in 63 comes from the prosecutors failed to turn over a statement from this Brady's co-defendant admitting that he, not Brady, committed the actual killing. And the court ruled that withholding violated due process, and it is over. Period. Can't say it enough. That's the thing. So when I go into court, all I care about is, what do you have? What are you going to show me? We'll get to the other stuff later. I don't have to prove anything about exploding anything. You show me. Tell me. And by the way, when prosecutors, you may not know this, but prosecutors and defense lawyers, you want to have a good relationship with them because you want to tell them, listen, I'm going to deal with you again in the future. I'm going to deal with you again in the future. You don't understand this. I appreciate this. All right. And by the way, many people do. And I want to say this to you. It's an art. It's an art. But my fish fart reference, I believe, is so perfect. It may be considered to be gross, but it so perfectly explains that which I'm trying to explain. And that is called explication, which is the goal of all communication. Anyway, So prosecutors in defense, I'm going to have you again. You're going to have me. I'm not going to sandbag you. You're not going to do me. I'm going to say, listen there, Dave, a couple of things. I want you to know about this. Let's look at the defense. I got this, this, and this. You might want to talk to your guy because we're going to have a big problem. And you need extra time? No problem. Listen, you want more time to do this? I won't object. Do a motion to continue. I won't object. I won't stipulate because then we got to get into speedy trial problems, but no problem. Because I'm going to have you again. And you're going to remember the fact that I'm a straight shooter. And if you think I'm a straight shooter and you've got to tell somebody, listen, flat out, this is all I've got. This is it. The people from upstairs are making me do this and I'm not crazy about it. That doesn't change anything. You can't go before the jury and say, oh, and by the way, I talked to the prosecutor. Yeah, he doesn't even want to do this case. You can't do that. But I would say, listen, Dave, work with me on this. How do you expect to connect any kind of a gun? I mean, I need the stuff. This is what I want to, and I'm assuming it's already been turned over. Give me the medical examiner. Give me the guy who did the autopsy. I'm going to have my expert. I'm going to get like a Bodden or somebody. And I'm going to say, tell me, where is the information? Where is the data? Where is the material that was found when the neck was dissected? What was it? What did you find in there? Show me. What was it? And you can argue, it was interesting about on the phone and whether there was a reference to to information, to fragments. What were the fragments? Is this lead? What is this? What is this jazz? What is this? What are these? Is this material? What is it? I don't even know what it is. I don't know. Did you find a bullet in there? Because the media kept using words like casing and what do you mean casing? The media, by the way, still don't know the difference between automatic, semi-automatic. He had an automatic weapon. He did? He did? Well, he had a 45 automatic. It wasn't an automatic. It was a semi-automatic. And to them, it may not seem like a big deal, but it's a very big deal. So consequently, when I bring these people in, I'm going to say, what do you have in there? And I'm going to say, Dave, whatever the guy's name is, dude, as the kids say, how are you going to tell me how you're going to connect my guy. Listen, if you can make the case, I'll tell him, if I'm the defense lawyer, I'll plead him out. We'll worry about waive the death penalty, whatever it is. You got to give me something, I'll give you something. Tell me. Because the prosecutor is going to tell you exactly what he's got. He's not going to surprise you because of Brady. You're going to say, I've got Dick. That's it. Are you forced to do this? I can't say. Understand. Got it. You know what I mean? I've had those before. You can't drop this case. You can't drop it. Sometimes every now and then, like in the old days, even in traffic, you get somebody one time, it's like, this is a political guy. He's got charged with a DUI. Normally, you could reduce it to reckless. If it was a shitty case, you didn't feel good about it. Especially with traffic and DUIs, you don't want to go, but the judge will look at you like, what are you doing? Everybody drinks and drives. Sorry. Everybody drinks and drives. That's why they got parking lots at bars. And if you're acting like some hard ass, even a judge will say, what are you doing? What's the matter with you? But sometimes you say, listen, this guy is a speaker of the house or whatever. You can't drop this. We got news that the local newspapers are there and they're going to make sure, and your name is going to be all over it. No, you take it to trial. Well, good. Now, is that shitty? Yeah. But sometimes, listen, those are the realities. So what I'm saying is you're going to go to court, and I'm going to say a couple of things. Dave, whoever this prosecutor is, what are you going to do in the confession? Is there anything else? I mean, remember, I'm taking depositions. Now, depending upon, depositions are great because normally you want the defense lawyer, if you're the prosecutor, please talk to my guy. Talk to him. You'll see. And if you get old Luna, Junebug, whatever this, the fuzzy wuzzy hat, girlfriend, lesbian, trans, whatever this dude is. And you said, are you sure he was confessing? Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Ooh. Well, did he say he did it? Yes. Yeah. And they're making a big deal of this. How many times have you heard this? And the prosecutors aren't even, the prosecutors will not even allow um, cross examination. No, that's at the preliminary hearing. You're, no, he's gonna be there at trial if you need him. Hell, if the defense, I mean, the prosecution doesn't call him, defense will call him. If you need him, bring his ass on there. That's just a preliminary hearing. And they're saying it all the time, especially one of these experts, the guys with the backwards hat and the tattoos, because he was a SEAL team, he knows about trial law. In any event, so that's that. But they get it wrong all the time. They get this stuff wrong, and they don't really get it. So it comes down to how are they going to do it? And listen, Tyler may have been there and may have been. Look, he might have said, "Look, okay, I got to be honest with you. Come on now. Come on, Ty. Tell me the truth. Because believe me, you always know when your client, when they come in there and say, so, what am I looking at here? They did it. But if they say, I didn't do it, I don't know what the hell that is. That's not me on the, I don't know what this, how many times did I change clothes? I did what? I took this thing apart, the rifle, have you tried to do this? I never shot that ever. How do you know? What if he said, I don't know. Who knows what Tyler may be the greatest witness anybody's ever seen. What if Tyler gets on the stand? All right. And you don't know this, but he says, look, imagine this, because you never know what hits juries. And he says, let me tell you one thing. I may be a lot of things, but I'll tell you one thing I know I am. I'm a pussy. And there's no way I'm going to take somebody out. So you understand? They have the firing squad for this guy. Me? I've never done. I'll bet you he doesn't even have a record. I'll bet you this guy's never had a speeding ticket. All of a sudden, I'm going to say, oh, I've had enough. Oh, what? Well, because I'm dating this trans lesbo thing over here, whatever this guy is. And I'm so offended by this that I'm going to risk my life. Not even, and risk being with this person that I love so much. So I'm going to take this guy out with a shot and think I'm going to get away with it. I may be a lot of things, but I'm not stupid. And I don't have, first of all, I'm not crazy, but I don't have that in me. I've never been in a fight. I'm not going to wake up one day and say, I'm going to be a sniper. What? And get away with it and do what? Because one guy? No, it's ridiculous. You don't know what a jury thinks. Let's assume he takes the stand. And normally you're not supposed to let people take the stand. But if he does, and that jury says, are you crazy? Here, they never check me. When I'm in the jail, they never check my hands. They've never once. Don't you think they want to hear, when you're firing like that, hear my clothes? Nothing. Nothing. Well, did you now you can ask that. The prosecution can't ask about Miranda and whether you refuse to talk or not, but the defense lawyers can. He said, well, did you take this? Did you talk to the cops? He says, no. Why? He says, I didn't do anything. What am I going to confess? I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm turning myself in because they told me they were going to kill me. They told me they were going to take me out. I got the news from our friend, the sheriff, that one day I'd wake up and there'd be all kinds of little red dots all over me. And no way. Now, I don't know. Okay, well, were you there? Were you not there? Who gives a shit? All these other people were there. Hundreds of people. See that guy there in the front row? He was there. Did you talk to him? He was closer than me. Where was I? On a roof? What? How did I get up there? How did I do what? No way. I'm at a Dairy Queen. Hey, can I have the sprinkles? Oh, yeah, this is your killer. Right. Just like Luigi Mangione, who's in some, where was he? Not in Lansing or Scranton or something. He's in a McDonald's. He's the guy. I mean, there's no doubt about that. This is a joke. But then you've got these morons. You got the Mikeys and the this guy and the Neffys and the Colvitts and the douchebag and this guy. Was there a guy named Tardio? Did I see a guy named like Retardio? That can't. This can't be. Another one. One of these. I was in SEAL teams. Did you see the woman who said my husband was a firefighter EMT for 20 years, and I know. I said, excuse me, you're an expert by virtue of what, your husband? Are you kidding me? You? Come on, lady. She actually said this. Did you see this? My husband. Who the hell cares about your husband? What about you? What did you say? I don't know what I said, but it's unbelievable. All of this is unbelievable. This is the biggest story. And where do you want to come in? Come on in. Come into the tent. Have some crumb cake. You want to talk about that? That's fine. You want to just follow the travails of Candace? That's fine. What's Erica? You think you're sitting down with Erica? And by the way, this debate genius better sit down with Erica. Is it Erica? Now listen, hon. Have a seat. Now listen, dear heart. Listen, hon. I can call women hon. Listen, hon. Listen, sweetheart. Do me a favor, yeah. You know and I know you're as dumb as rocks, all right? Let's face it. You may know all kinds of stuff and you can be a pageant. That takes a lot there. Junior Missy, Arizona, whatever you are. That's great. But I don't want you talking. Because, Erica, you start talking shit. You just start making stuff up. You'll just start talking. I'll be like, oh, here she goes. Sometimes you'll say that, well, one day my daughter Gigi, yeah, we had run out of Fruit Loops. Yeah. And we love Fruit Loops. And every morning Charlie'd come out and he'd say, hey, where are the Fruit Loops? And we were big, we had Pop-Tarts. We like Pop-Tarts. One time we were at the store. It's like, she's doing it. She's off. She's talking, making them. They probably discontinued. See, she said stuff. Maybe they discontinued Fruit Loops. Maybe they don't make Pop-Tarts anymore. Maybe that store doesn't carry it. Somebody somewhere is going, did you get that? Yeah. Did you get that in the truck? Yeah. Fruit Loops, Pop-Tarts, Acme drugs. Check it out. Then tomorrow somebody will bring the receipts and go for the past. Did you know that they've discontinued selling Pop-Tarts at Piggly Wiggly since December of 73? And they'll have the expert witness of the president of Piggly Wiggly. I mean, she says things, and then that becomes a subject. It's called in the business collateral, meaning it's not critical to the particular case, but she'll just say things. And then the other one too, Tourette's. He says, and I was under doing the thing. I said, wait a minute, no, and that's because he said you weren't doing that. Oh, I was, because they don't sit and say, okay, look, here's the story. I got on top of Charlie. No, you got on top of Charlie. Oh, shit. Why? I said, I got on top of Charlie. Why'd you do that? I don't know. Because we don't have these meetings. I just was talking, what I thought. And okay, who was doing this now? Who? You told him what? That you were on top doing the what? Why'd you say that? I don't know. And you were using this particular type of wound pack. They don't make that anymore. They don't get their stories right, because up to now, these are civilians. These are people, listen, with all due respect, okay? A lot of these people are preachers and these people are absolutely gargantuan, full of shit. They make this stuff up as they go along. They've spent their whole life. Some of these they've been doing faith healing, for God's sake. These are professional liars. This is Broadway class theater. These are the best liars anybody has understand. This is the part that is so critical to understand. This is the part which is so critical to understand. This is what I'm telling you. So you have this layer on top of this layer. So you've got the story that happened. You've got Tyler. You've got the trial. Then you've got Candace. And then you've got these people who were saying, This is the best one. Oh, Barron is a failed lawyer. What are you talking about? What? What? Where did this come from? I don't know. They told me I'm supposed to say. Oh, and Ian Carroll. Well, he delivered pizzas. And Candace is, she was, I don't know why. She sold taffy on the boardwalk. They just say these things. So I'm thinking, excuse me, does this mean anything? Anybody remember Hedy Lamarr? Anybody? Hedy Lamarr was an actress. She was, not cheesecake, but considered, a looker. She patented some kind of sonar submarine something or other. She was an actress, and I was gonna learn to fly. She made off for the footlight. I took off for the sky. Anyway, so this was an actress, and poor old Einstein wasn't worth the shit. He had to work at a patent office, and he didn't got that going. This is. Have you ever heard Ian Carroll? It's one of the smartest people. And I love when they always say, Dave Smith, comedian. Excuse me. He knows more. He has become either self-styled, maybe he's an autodidact. But if you want to talk about Israel, if you want to talk about what's going on, get him. And by the way, some of the best spokespeople are Jews. Max Blumenthal, Aaron Mate, Dave Smith, go down the list. Kitty Halper. I mean, these are so. This is the best you have. This is the best you have. You're going to slant. And by the way, I don't want to get into it, but what do you do? Who are you? Why are you the expert at this? Listen to listen to Candace and ask yourself, do you care whether she, worked at a Tasty Freeze? And I mean, is this where we are? Are you not listening to a word she says? Ladies and gentlemen, I know that Candace makes a great point, but for God's sake, she was a greeter at a Walmart. What? It doesn't make any difference. That is such desperation. It is the most pathetic, and it just goes. So we have, again, the layers of this. Tyler Robinson trial. Candace. And Shawn Ryan, he's going to love this. Wait till they start throwing shit at him. Now, I don't know what his problem is. Not his problem, but I mean, if he had, substance abuse, whatever. Isn't it true, Mr. Ryan, that in 1983, you were arrested for making lewd noises while they changed the mannequin at Macy's? Isn't that true, sir? Isn't that true? Huh? What does the term turn your head and cough mean? What's the last song they played for closing at the Rawhide on the Lower East Side? What? What? What about now? I don't know enough about Mysterio. I don't know. He's very good. Shawn's laugh, two laughs, which, let me tell you something, they're most unique. Shawn's and Tucker's. You must admit, everybody has a laugh and a sneeze. Your sneeze is you. Your laugh is you. Everybody laughs differently. Some people are great. I one time had a friend. This is so weird. My cousin's family from anyway, we were at this thing, and I forget how old I was, and I heard this. Ah! Ah! And I thought it was like a cattle or some kind of an animal. I'm serious. I said, what the hell is that noise? Anyway, I thought, anyway. Ah! Now it's driving me crazy. Somebody's got to tell me this. It was this girl. Her name was Anne. It was his cousin. And this is the way she would look at you like this. And I didn't realize she would do this until she sat across from me and I made her laugh. And this was her laugh. Ah! I said, you're the one. You're making that noise. Well, people are funny. Shawn's got to laugh. Tucker's got to laugh. We all have something different. Okay? What? This story is so terrible. It's not terrible. It's it's I haven't thought of this. We were at this we were at this steakhouse on Dale Mabry, South Dale Mabry in Tampa. It was kids. And it was a steak place. And my mother hears this kind of like, ah. And she says, oh, for the love of God, why don't you piping in some kind of we know it's a steakhouse. Oh, okay, you'll get them doggies rolling. This is ridiculous. Well, it turns out the sound, it was somebody who was, well, I don't know what the word is. It's a family show, but something was a little, you know what I mean? And that was the noise this person made. And I said, you are going to burn in hell. She says, I'm not going to. You thought it was a cow. They're piping in cattle music. Look at this poor guy with a helmet. You mean to tell me, you're sick. You're sick. And we were laughing, not because of that, but how she interpolated this sound of authenticity. In any event, sorry for the divergent news there. Today is going to be huge. Watch X. People are going crazy. And may I suggest something? When you want to, if you haven't done X or haven't signed up for it, you're making a big mistake. It's the greatest stuff ever. It's fantastic. And one of the stuff you must do is whenever you get somebody there who is kind of trolling, ask them, well, what do you mean? What's your point? Or you can say, is that it? Because nobody will ever talk about how Candace Owens is wrong. They will never say anything that's wrong. Well, you're wrong about that. Matt Bell says, can you, Baron, Coach Jesse, VFT, Shawn, or someone get Erica on for a 4-hour podcast, please? Oh, you have got to be. I mean this with all my heart. I can't speak for anybody else. I have no animosity towards her. I swear to you, I have nothing seriously to say. I mean, I don't want to sit here and put her through the ringer, as they say, but I would. I would love, and my wife will tell you, I love the idea that what makes people who they are. I would love to sit back and say, Erica, what's the proudest thing you've done? What are you the proudest of? What do you think she would say? It's very interesting. What's the nicest thing anybody's ever done for you? Oh, 95 degrees. Erica, fill in this statement. Fill in the sentence. Life isn't, what would you say? Fair? What is the biggest misunderstanding, Erica, people have about you? What is it that hurts the most? Did you ever see, I'm going to ask you a question. And I don't mean to ask you this now in terms of what happened with Charlie. No. But are you happy at all? Is this where you saw yourself at the trajectory of your life? I'm just curious to see what she says. Not that I know the answer, because you want to ask a question that makes her. What is the role of your mother? Your mother was what? What word best did her mother push her? Was it that she was never loved by her mother? She was never good enough? I don't know. More than anyone else, I will tell you this, and I mean this, but between men and women, I promise you that there is not a woman walking around ever who can say there wasn't some familial or some kind of an impact on her life that she ever got over, or that she ever, that didn't affect her one way. Now, I'm not saying men don't have, I'm not saying that. Men are different. Remember what I'm trying to tell you. And this is not meant to be uh, cute or funny. Women are crazy. Everyone. But men are stupid. Everyone. Men are better at fooling you. They'll fool you sometimes. Well, you know, on my academics and my leadership. Yeah. But strip it down. Okay. Not in any way to be not disputatious, but rude to Shawn or anybody else. Take anybody who has ever been on the Shawn Ryan show, with the exception of Candace. Show me any man who's ever appeared who has been what you would call complex, especially who's been in the military. Now, with all due respect, I'm not. This is not meant as a slam. No one, no one, no one. Oh, no. Now, one of the best. Do you know why stories? Let me give you an example. Do you remember a while back there was Dick Clark tried a version of The View? You know, The View can only work with women. You know that, right? The View can only work. Forget who the women are, but only with women. Dick Clark tried to do it one time. It was John Stamos, I think, or no, Mario, not Cantone. Anyway, he tried it, and it was a disaster. There was no depth, no nothing. Give me, if I could do a YouTube, believe it or not, not a YouTube, a show, because Rosie O'Donnell is so mean. She's very masculine in the wrong way. She's very abrasive, very mean. She's a mean person deep down inside. You can see. But she was on with Elizabeth Hasselbeck. And by the way, she said some, Rosie O'Donnell said some great stuff about Building 7. I mean, she was really good, but she's just so mean. Her thing is she's unhappy. She's pissed off. She's back. Remember that? I'm never going to, she went to Ireland. Nobody cares. Anyway, but if I could get her, if I could have Maureen Callahan, who was just, oh my God. There are some other women. You know the woman who has no eyes? I don't know what her name is, but she has no eyes. She looks like a mole. You know, but they're very, and that's what you need. If I could get them on, and if somehow I could have them have a Candace on, and maybe even Rosie, but Rosie can't play with people, just like Piers Morgan. The reason why his show bores me is that people are arguing, and it's just run its course because Piers is lazy. He just puts people on together and they start fighting. Here's one for you. Remember the show Jackass? I always said, here's my show. I get a bunch of people who are not the smartest, but I get them drunk. And I put them in, we're in a bar, and I'll take one, I'll maybe spread a rumor about somebody, or I'll push one drunk into the next, and pretty soon they'll be fighting each other. And I'll film it. Be number one. Drunk fights every week. That's what this kind of is. That's what Piers Morgan is. It's just, let's put Anna Kasparian and some IDF apologist, and because that's all he can do. He doesn't know. There's no subtlety. You know what I mean? Like Mehdi Hassan, get him on. Like, don't even bother. But why I'm saying all of this is that women are better at this, and they are able to sit there. And I would say, if I could do a show with Erica Kirk, I would have a woman talk. My dream, I'm telling you, if you had, listen to this, Candace and Erica, 45 minutes, 90 minutes, no interruptions, no tap out in the square here, lights out match kind of a deal. That's it. Give whatever the benefits are to, or the money, the proceeds to charity. It would be, if I told you, now listen, you can watch this, but you can't eat for a week. We have a device now that can tell whether you've had any solid food for a week. People would say, okay. And they would do it. They would, I mean, you can never see this unless you not eat for a week or whatever. People would stop what they were doing. This would be why? Because you need a woman to understand the bullshit that this other woman is saying. And I'm sorry. And I know people get upset with it. Men don't do that. Women, I swear to you, think, It's like, they're right. And I am forever. I tend to, I don't want to say I'm Mr. Ha ha ha, but I tend to maybe perhaps in error see the better parts of people first. That is not good because women know bullshit. And that's what this is about. That's why they're great. See, it's one thing too about YouTube, which is so terrific in this particular format, is because it allows you, women of all, they come forward. They're wonderful. They come forward and they would never, ever be allowed on TV, on Fox News. No way. Because they got to look a particular way. Those women on Fox News are lightweights. Imagine that, what's her name? Campagna, or even August Frazier. What's her name? Forrest Lawn or Forrest Sawyer, Forrest Gump, or what's her name? You know the woman who has the eyes. What's her name? The black woman. Huh? She always looks like what? What's her name? Agatha. You know what I'm talking about. I do. What's her name? I don't know. I haven't watched that show. But they're into the whole, huh? No, the 5 at 5, the focus. Laura Ingraham. No. You get somebody who's sitting. There are some women who are some of the best people. Faulkner. Harris Faulkner. Thank you. Faulkner, Gump. I don't know who these people are. But no. Can you imagine it? Give me somebody like a Maureen Callahan who's just, oh, man. There's a couple other ones. They're just brutal because they know bullshit. And the reason why women have to know bullshit is because you were given, whether you like it or not, nature gave you the ability to theoretically have children, but not just a uterus. No. It gave you the ability to be protective. You never forget. Ever. Women never forget. Forgive? I don't know. Maybe. Forget? No. And that's good. What if you did forget? What if you did? This is the most important thing ever. They're just unbelievable. Plus, they're not, please don't take this the wrong way, they're not sociable. Women don't even have friends. They don't have friends. They may have a sister, a girlfriend. That's it. I mean, they may work with somebody, but oh no. And you know who they really distrust? Women. They know. And nature said, good. You're going to be like that. Morton Downey Jr. with Al Sharpton, a Klansman, and an Israeli settler on the same stage. That would be the male version of The View. Yes. Remember years ago, when, who was it? Geraldo got hit broke his nose, the Klansman. See, but I say to people, you're being misogynistic. On the contrary, absolutely not. No. See, one of the reasons why women are so much smarter is because they have to. See, when women have a baby, remember, I don't care if you have a baby or not, it doesn't matter. You have this ability. You have to look at the baby and say, what's wrong with the baby? No, something's wrong. What? It's got to go to the doctor. It's not. How did you know that? Because I notice things. I know cues. I know how people feel. How do you feel? How do you feel? What did you feel next? Women love to get together and talk about how they feel. Do you have you ever kept any kind of a journal or a diary? You know men do that? No, of course not. They're not interested in that. Women love to dissect feelings, their feelings, your feelings, my feelings, everybody's feelings. They'll break it down like parsing a sentence. Verb, adjective, adverb. It's who you are. That's why you're so much more susceptible to therapy than men. Men are, because we're stupid. We're stupid. We have no depth. You know, PTSD is about as deep as it gets. And not to make fun of that. But women can be, oh my God. Men are more sociable. Hey, because we're kind of stupid. We're like that dog. We're like, you know how sometimes they'll show a picture of somebody breaking into a house and the dog will be there like, hey, it's like, that's my attack dog? You let the guy in? Ed Frank says, what if you debate Erica Kirk but only reply during Senora Wences impressions? That would be very good. You know, it's very interesting you say that because, you know, I was thinking about that because speaking of Brigitte Macron, anyway, that's a very, very interesting you should say that. See, but this is so interesting. And what's so funny is that you've got these guys, hey guy, they come before and they do. Candace is a grifter. For the love of God, would you come up with something better? She's not a grifter. Say she's full of shit or something like that, but don't say she's a grifter. You don't understand. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? You're no good at this. You're no good at this. She's a grifter. Say, this ain't your bag, babe. Bring in the ladies. They're the best. And if you want to see this, it's not rare. It's women hate phonies. They can't stand phonies. And I don't know what it is. I think maybe, you know what one of the best movies is of all time? Ready for this? Mean Girls. Watch that. Everyone will say, yep, 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 because every little girl somewhere is going to be betrayed by that kid in their class, a girl. Why? And then boys come into their girls' lives. And who's going to betray the girl with a boy? A girl. Women are predators. They're like a cat versus a dog. A dog is, and anyway, cats are a feral animal. They've never bred out that feral instinct of a cat. Ever. Can't do it. Can't do it. So when you look at this right thing, you've got to think like, how would a woman react to this? Because you can't do this bullshit about, well, she's a widow. Don't even try that with a woman. Say, don't even try that. I know that. No. That's exactly where this story has everything. Everything. And the best part about it is that deep down inside, people would say, I would love to be on the Candace team because everybody knows right off the bat that there is nothing that Erica Kirk says, irrespective of her hardship. She's just a phony. She just makes up. She's a fabulist. She has a pseudologia, fantastica, mythomania. She just makes up stuff. When she looks up and she starts talking about stuff, they find her in lies that aren't even important. And sometimes it's the little lies that are important. And we realize that I could take Charlie's kids because I would take Gigi. Is there any other name? I just hear Gigi. Isn't there another kid? I don't want to know their names, but I just keep hearing Gigi. Isn't there somebody else? Don't they have two kids? Who's the other kid? Kid said, Mom, what about me? Not for nothing, but I mean, what have I chopped liver here? Do I ever anybody mention me? It's always Gigi said this and Gigi. And I took Gigi. Sometimes I take her to ballet camp. Yeah. And I would drive a station wagon. It was a Wagoneer. Yeah, that's it. It had wood on the side and a luggage rack. Yeah, that's it. And we go, and I wore an apron. Did I tell you about that? I wore an apron. Yeah, sure I did. Yeah. I used to make Swanson frozen foods. Yeah, that's what I did. I used to like the peach cobbler. Hello, where am I? What's going on? I don't know where she's going. And people, of course, are deep diving. Excuse me, Swanson did not make. All right, Houston, yes. Swanson did not make Peach Cobbler in 1960. We've got the list of all of those people. Yes, Edie Crowley, God bless you. Please follow Lynn's Warriors. Yes, 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 yes. You have no idea. And I'm getting all these emails. She is at the highest level of Washington negotiation as we speak right now. And I'm talking to you about whatever, which is important. This is more fun, by the way. It's fun. And what's great about this is that you always have you ever felt like this with Candace? Like, here we go. Here we go. It's like whenever you saw, like I was watching these old. I'm a boxing fan. I'm not into UFC. I think boxing is the beautiful sport. It's just. And one time there was this guy who thought he'd make a name for himself, and he sucker punched Mike Tyson. True. The guy rang the bell and he hit him. And Michael Tyson looked at him and he thought, here we go. Here we go. I love this. Please talk more about the hearing. There is no hearing. There hasn't been a hearing yet. We got to wait for the hearing. I let people say, why aren't you talking more about the Strait of Hormuz? Because I'm not. I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk more about, no, let's don't. Excuse me, what are you doing? I'm telling you what to do. I want to control this. Well, you can't control it. I don't find that interesting. I've only been talking about the damn hearing forever and the guns and this and the preliminary and how it makes me think, have you not been listening? Anyway, maybe that's my cue. Every now and then, can we talk about the hearing? We are. Okay. All right. Okay, Mr. Greco. Do we go back in the bus? Yes, we do. Brian Carter says, Lionel, you missed a generous super chat. Wait a minute. Hold it. I missed one? Holy moly. Oh, dear God. From Carla. Oh, mi dispiace. The older I get, the smaller my circle becomes, less tolerance for drama, more appreciative of the friends who are truly perfect, my perfect match. Oh, Carla, thank you. You know what? You are so, thank you. Thank you so much. I have been, it's funny, brasileira mia, obrigado. I don't want to be like that myself. But I am. I know a lot of people that I can talk to. I'm great at small talk, but I really don't have any. I honestly don't have a lot of, there are so many people, first of all, that are just prototypically, unimaginatively and incredibly just not interesting. They're not interesting. And I can list what I hate versus what I love. More of what I hate. And I was thinking about that. Maybe that's not good. But I cannot stand negative people. I can't stand complainers. And I can't stand people, by the way, who don't have the guts to say, this is really what this is about. If ever that's why some people, I'm saying, I was talking to a friend of mine who does YouTube stuff. I said, you've been saying exactly the same thing about Israel and the Middle East for 3 years now, going on 3 years. Do you ever mix it up? He said, no. I said, this is a story. This thing has everything. This thing has everything. Let me ask you this. Can you imagine? I know this is crazy, but what if, and I don't know how you would even, but what if, for whatever reason, you had to, this is weird. Let's say you're not married, you're not whatever, but you had to date now. All right. I don't know how this will work out. Either because let's say you put it off or God forbid tragedy. I don't know. You work that part out. What I'm trying to say is imagine you'd say, I got to do what? Yeah, you got to talk to people and do what? Knowing what you know now. Yeah, I got to sit there and talk about, favorite color. No, No, sorry, that can't be. I swear to you, as God is my witness, whatever that means. Or as my friend says, I should go blind. This is he's one of the boys. He says, I should go blind if I'm lying. When I hear about somebody who's 70 years old, 70, 80, who has some 23-year-old girlfriend, Bill Belichick, and that girlfriend, I'm thinking, what are you? And I know people are saying, I know what he's going to get. It's sex. Yeah, right. Something tells me that story's not all that it cracks up to be. But can you imagine having to talk to this woman? Can you imagine? Brasileira. Can you imagine talking to somebody 30 years your junior and you're trying to find something? I mean, maybe, and you're going to sit there and say, okay, let's assume all this romance part is you got to just talk to him now. What the hell do you say? What do you say? I've got no tolerance for people of my own. How am I going to deal with it? I don't know. I don't even know how it is. I don't know how any of this works. We went to a thing one time. I can't tell you. Mrs. L brought me, and I shouldn't be able to. It was so horrible because there were like, I didn't know who these women were. She didn't really know who they were, but I looked, and there's these women who think they're in high school, and they want to take pictures of themselves on Facebook or on Instagram and pretend that they're living in a. I thought they're like almost my age, or a little younger, but still, I thought this is demented, and it annoyed me so much. I said, with all this going on in the world, who are these people, and why are they doing this? Isn't this great? Oh, I'm so lucky. Here's my BFF. I love, 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 love. They love everybody, loves everybody. I say, what is this? I can't do it. So back to reality. When you want to find somebody who's really watching this Erica Kirk, women have it hands down. Hands down. Let me also say one thing about women. I'm going to leave it at that. Not to be gratuitous, but I don't think a woman hits her prime until 70. There is the greatest ever. People say, my grandpa. Grandpas are good. They're okay. Grandmothers are there's the occasional, the lunatic, but they're the best. First of all, they don't care what they look like. They're just happy. They want comfortable clothes. They want a muumuu. They get the big glasses and the little short hair. But they are the best. Because they know love like nobody's ever business. They've been around. They've seen everything. And there is a wisdom. And they don't necessarily get cantankerous. They're able to ferret out bullshit better than anybody. And they're just the best. They're just absolutely, I think, and I don't know what it is, but an older woman, there's something that happens. It's very interesting. It's like society says, okay, you're not going to worry about this anymore. No. So you're not worried about looks as much? No. Or weight? Let's be honest. No, not really. And you're not going to worry. Okay. You don't worry about even makeup. And okay, good. You're not going to be getting any surgeries. No. Okay. Are you done with that? Good. Now, can we see you? Yes. And that's it. Then it comes through. After a year, it's all of that filtered to get rid of all that stuff. They're phenomenal. Phenomenal. I promise you, if women ran the world, we would not be having the horrors that is going on in the Middle East. There will not be talks of genocide or ethnic cleansing or anything like that, or apartheid. There will be no problem with Straits of Hormuz. Maybe, and I don't mean to be joke about this, but maybe two women would perhaps maybe give each other a dirty look, and the hell with it. I mean it. Most women, Carnival cruises notwithstanding, do not want to hit each other when they're mad at each other. It never occurs to them. Maybe some do if they're young or drunk. But there's something about, oh no, well, I'll get you back, but I'm not going to fall for this. And I mean this. So consequently, when you want to talk about this, all these other people, and I know a lot of men want to talk about, Erica, and all they want to do is this line about she's a widow. Come on, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. All right, that's it, my friends. What's the temp? 90. Got cooler, 94. They're making so much out of this. It's so hot. It's the summer. Ooh. You know what it's like to be from Florida, where the humidity, they act like we get these things. Okay, now look. Con Ed says, turn your thermostats. Yeah, right, okay. Everybody goes berserk over this stuff. Let me tell you something. That's why I say, and I mentioned bug out bags and the like, and I'm not kidding around. If the shit really hit the fan here, my friend, we'd have such a problem like you cannot believe. Oh, Brasileira Mia says, by the way, I saw Bob Dylan 85 yesterday. Wow. He was wearing a hoodie and some kind of visor. The voice is still there, more spoken than sung, but it's unmistakably Bob Dylan. Did you see him in concert or did you see him like walking around? I've got to wonder. I don't think he needs it. And thank you. I never got Dylan until later in life. I really didn't. And it's because of Bob Dylan. Sometimes I don't know what he's saying. I don't even know what he's talking about. It's Bob Dylan. What he did was incredible. We want to see, I was going to plan on taking my wife to see Frankie Valli, but that's, I don't think we're going to be seeing Frankie. Frankie is so bad. He was walking around, kind of like Glenn Campbell. Remember when they brought Glenn Campbell? He didn't know where he was, but he could still play the guitar because the family was pushing him. It was elder abuse. And I mean that. Have you seen Barry Manilow? Oh my God. Oh my God. His face is so, you know what he looks like? This is terrible. You ready? It's terrible, but I'm going to say it. Do you ever see when a chimp pulls your face off? Do you ever see these people and they get a face transplant? And it doesn't really, you know what I mean? It's a face, but not really. It's sort of like a death mask. But I mean, it looks like those masks that the CIA uses, the ones that Biden they would put on, with the weird ears. It's so horrible. How did he ever think? I mean, kids would run, crows and birds would lose direction. It would stop trains. It's just, why do people do that? I write the songs. Well, he didn't write that song, by the way. Bruce Johnson from the Beach Boys wrote it. But there's something very, very sad about that. Any word on Dolly Parton? I like her. She's not doing, I think she's ill or something. There comes a point, though, when you just kind of say, all right, how about Madonna? Huh? Madonna was born my month, my year. We're the 58 Club. Madonna, Prince, Michael Jackson, Alec Baldwin, Angela Bassett, a bunch of others, I think. But Madonna, Prince, all of us. And Madonna just is like, this is sad. You don't have to do this. Now, let me tell you who else is very good. You know who later on, sometimes women can be, like Reba McEntire can still sing. She may not be, she never really ran around in the first place. But there are people who are able to handle it. I was watching Sheryl Crow. Sheryl Crow she still can sing. She's not running around. Shania Twain, by the way, have you seen her? Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm going to leave you with this. Why do people do this? Why do people go down and say, listen, do me a favor. I want you to have some work done. And please make sure you scare people. Make me look like I have a death mask. Make me just scare people. Really scare people. I want to have no expression. I want to not be able to frown or gesticulate. I want you to kill the trigeminal nerve. Just do everything in your power just to destroy it. I think we veered enough. That's enough. Hour and a half. Thank you, my friends. Brasileira Mia. Thank you. Wait a minute. Hang on a minute. Shauna Harris says, Lionel, do you know Frankie Valli's real name? We are somehow related. Look up his real name. Frankie Valli's his real name? Well, I will do that. See, that's my job. When we watch TV, my job is he dead? Just a minute. I've got my phone with him. Frankie Valli's real name is Frankie Valli. Francesco Stephen Castelluccio. Known by Frankie Valli. Francesco Stephen, he's 92, born in Newark. Castelluccio. I did not know that. I did not care about that, but I did not know. Isn't that something? Castelluccio. And there you go with that. How about that? I had no idea. He's looking. And by the way, we should go to this Italian restaurant where they would have Bobby Valley. Bobby Valley is Frankie's brother. Now, I don't know if he had anything, if he did anything other than that. But we never saw that one either because I think he's far. One time, you know where we never went, honey? There was an Italian restaurant on Bloomfield Avenue where this guy, he was like an insurance agent, but he comes in like once a week and sings. He has like a oh, I like this place. You know, this one, you know, start spreading the news. You always get that note that drops, you know, I'm leaving today. Oh, whoa, almost had it there. I've got to be me. You know, here's a guy singing this. He's on an Italian restaurant on Bloomfield Avenue in Caldwell, you know, not too far from where Tony Soprano lives. And he's singing, I Gotta Be Me. I told you the story. I'll tell you a million times. I happened to stop by. I had to go to a Holiday Inn or something, use the John. I don't know how the hell. I went through this lounge to get to the men's room. And there's this guy playing like a B3. And there's like nobody there. And he was there. Why? And he was playing. He goes, I love the nightlife. I love to bogey on the disco run. And I thought, you love the what? Bogey. All right. So I was in college at the time. I went back to there's nobody there. So I went back to my fraternity because all we did was drink. We didn't do anything philanthropic, nothing. I said, listen, there's this guy you got to go see. Why don't we all go? And let's, okay. So I forget what it was Sunday. We're all pretty much half in the bag anyway. So we all showed up. And we requested, I love the nightlife, I don't know, 100 times. The guy made a fortune. And when he sang, I love to bogey, we roared. And he's, yeah. And then eventually we stopped going. But there's something about that that's so, it goes back to the Bill Murray lounge singer. There's something about that was very, very kind of sad. Like one time we went to it was a wedding, a little mobbed up, so they say. But this guy was playing something, and it was this old group. He goes, Huey Louie and the News, and they were singing, "I Need a New Drug." I'm thinking, these guys are old with an accordion. I mean, I love that. Listen to Wesley Willis. Did you ever hear Wesley Willis? Wesley Willis. Do me a favor. When we get done, go listen to Wesley Willis. Wesley Willis was a schizophrenic musician. He was he had this kind of a mechanical, like, what am I trying to say? Not mechanical, but it was this like a mechanized, like a sound thing. You know, the same beat. And one is I'm going to stick a rocket up Batman's ass or something. It would always be the same song, but he was schizophrenic and he would go up and he would headbutt people. Jello Biafra. A lot of people really, really liked him. Wesley Willis. All right. Watch him. Next time you're at a party, put some Wesley Willis on. You know what I mean? Just to let people know. Gigi Allen. Gigi Allen was a guy who used to throw his own excrement at the crowd. Gigi, lowercase Gigi, Allyn. I always request Gigi Allen. Really bad. In any event, my friends, I thank you. I thank you. Everybody, you are so, so kind. Matt and Republic Tea Room, God bless you. Mattis, Brasileira, thank you, Carlos, so much. Brian Carter, everybody. I'm also going to put the word in again. We got Tucker. Tucker's been on so much. He's just so great. And his brother, Uncle Buck, who as well. So anyway, that was it. I think after the Candace interview, people are just dying to get. I mean, they're just the phone call. The phone's ringing off the hook, just off the hook. All right, my friends, have a great and glorious day. We'll see you tonight sometime. By the way, follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. Lynn's Warriors. Go there right now and do it. We'll meet again tonight. I don't know when. Just make sure you hit that little bell so that when we are on, you'll be notified, theoretically. And also make sure you're subscribed to Lionel Nation. But sometimes you're unsubscribed for reasons I do not know. And make sure you like this. Like this. Liking this is so critical. It's not just an expression. It puts us in the HOV lane because that, for some reason, I think people, let's face it, who hear us will find that be amusing. And let's face it, that cracks you up. And as long as it does, I'll be here. All right, my friends, have a great and glorious day. Thank you so much. Remember, stay cool. It's very hot parts of the country. Men, frozen niblets are always great to carry around in your shorts. Let me tell you something, because testicular hyperthermia can be a problem. All right. Wow. All right, my friends, have a great and glorious day. See you then. Don't forget the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Da.